Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland, Newbie Container Gardening in Nova Scotia, update number 6. We have moved, so we've been in the new place just about a year now, but what that means is we lost our very big and spacious in-ground garden area. The new location that we're in is very rocky with lots of granite, and the soil is not really viable for in-ground gardening except in very, very few, very limited spots. So we decided to put in a container garden, fully container gardening, and we are planting a huge variety of vegetables because we don't know what is going to thrive here. So that's what part of this season is about, figuring out what will thrive in our location. We have struggled with some fungus on our tomatoes, but we nipped it. So we are definitely going to get a harvest out of some of those tomatoes. It's not a total loss. We just don't know how big of a harvest we'll get. And now we're working at kind of figuring out what we need to do in the containers for some of the crops that we are hoping are going to get more plentiful than what they are right now. And we think what we need to do is fertilize, fertilize, fertilize. We are hoping that if we do, things are going to, not that things are going bad, but just that things will go better and will flourish more, giving us a bigger bounty. Thanks for stopping in this week. If you haven't watched any of the other videos, there are 6 other videos kind of showing where we started and where we're at now. You might find them really interesting. I'm honestly pretty confident now that we have saved the tomatoes. The question now is not will they survive, but what kind of harvest will we get? And I'm really pleased to show that on the Romas, let me see here, we are getting clusters. Very happy with that. That's a Roma cluster there. Some more clusters here. Here we even have fresh flowers, so that's very, very positive. Cluster down in here with some more flowers. So we're getting Romas. I still don't have any tomatoes on this plant here. This is a yellow pear tomato. But this yellow pear tomato has multiple clusters. So like there, down in there. So that's good. And these are the indigo cherry tomatoes. Indigo sun, I think they're called. And there are multiple clusters here. And on this one as well. Now, not a single beefsteak. Still no beefsteak tomatoes. Still no flowers, and there was one flower on this plant. There it is. Oh, I don't know. That's where the flower was. I'm not sure if we're going to get a tomato there or not. So there's hope, I guess, because they're not dead. And then over here, around the corner, these are the ones that I had originally segregated. I guess we can put these back. They're alive. They're doing great. There's no flowers on them, but I guess there's still the possibility that they will get flowers. Broccoli's getting a bit bigger here and here, but not anything gorgeous or what I would consider awesome. This is my odd little squash. It's getting a little bit bigger. This squash doesn't appear to be getting any bigger at all. I feel like it's been the same size for the last couple weeks. Beans are getting a bit bigger last couple days. Peppers are getting there. These tomatoes we saved from the fungus. We like to call it blight. It sounds not as gross as fungus. Anyways, they are doing really well. The Romas are really doing well. There's new flowers on some of the Romas. Nothing has turned yet, so we're still a while away from being able to pick anything. Yep, we are getting yellow pears. We've got the indigo sun, but we still have nothing, not one single flower. The flower that came on that one other beefsteak tomato, that is gone. It's dead, and we don't see any tomatoes coming, and nothing over here except the plants look really, really healthy. So I do have hope. I mean, yes, we're into August now, but there's still lots of growing season left. This is our cabbage patch, and I just want to show that we are getting little cabbages. There's one there, and there's an even bigger one over here. So those are starting, so very happy about that. And I don't know if you guys remember what the pumpkins were looking like. Woo! Let me turn this here. They weren't looking like this at all. So we have been fertilizing these with coffee grinds like mad. Like mad. Onions are still looking good. I don't know. I should probably pick some of those, I think. I think my biggest problem is some of these things we've never grown before, and I don't really know what to do with them. We don't know what to do with the celery. We are getting peas, but we are eating the peas. As soon as they're growing, we are picking them and eating them. We have decided between the two of us that next year we actually want to plant a substantial amount of these peas. Duck tomatoes are still doing well. They are growing. There's lots of little cherry tomatoes. We're just not at a point yet that we're anywhere near harvesting any of them. Jalapenos doing amazing. There's definitely jalapenos here that we could pick if we wanted to, or we could let them grow a bit bigger. All of the plants have peppers on them now. Lots and lots. Lots and lots of peppers. And down, even this little tiny one. This was my plant that I got on discount outside of a Sobeys, like mark down, mark down, mark down. That little one. These ones have lots, and we've actually picked some. We made some jalapeno poppers, and they were hot. My mouth was on fire. We are going to pick some of these hot burrito peppers. The Handsome one did some Googling, and they are approximately the same Scoville amount of hot as what a jalapeno is. We still don't know what the heck is going on with the Brussels sprouts. So the plants look healthy, but we don't know what to do with them, or if we need to do anything, or if this is what they normally look like. If you've grown Brussels sprouts before and you want to chime in, let me know. Remember when I got those discounted plants at Kent Building Supplies for $1 and gave some to my parents, and we kept some for us? We are starting to get a few little tomatoes now. What is this one here? This one is Purple Zeus cherry tomato. So those are looking really good. Still uncertain about potatoes. So I follow a Nova Scotia gardener's Facebook page, and I did query in there, like, how do you know when to pick the potatoes? We've heard that you have to wait until they flower, and a couple people replied back to me, and they just said, like, just put your hand down and kind of feel around, and you'll tell, like, if there's potatoes down there, because people are talking about if they harvest now, that you could still plant potatoes and have a fall harvest in October. That's the good thing about a root vegetable. When it's in the ground like that, it can handle the cold weather. So we don't know yet about picking them. I think we might kind of check that out today. But what we do actually have seeds left, seed potatoes left, and they're red potatoes, which is supposed to be a good crop for a late planting, a late summer planting, which would be harvested in the fall. These little broccolis that were shaded initially, I brought over here. They haven't really done much. There's nothing wrong with them. They just really haven't grown tons. But we're going to leave them in the pots, because what harm is that doing? And then right over here, woo, look at my peppers. They're getting good. You can see one back in here, down in there. Yep, lots of peppers. These are the 6-pack tomatoes that we rescued for 25 cents a pack, and they're all growing. So I'm hoping these will be a late harvest. Like, we got these because we didn't think we were going to be able to save the blighted tomatoes. So I'm thinking that this is unplanned succession planting. So I'm getting tomatoes on the plants that we've had, you know, since May. Now, these plants we've only had since mid-July. And I'm thinking, you know, if we can make this work, or even if we have like a later frost, that these can be some late harvest tomatoes. Zucchinis, we've got 3 coming on this plant right here. I think we should fertilize a bit. Cucumbers are still doing well. We've actually picked 6 cucumbers, gifted some 4 to one of the neighbors. We have been eating 1, and we still have 1 that we have uncut. So this is doing well for us, and so we definitely will do cucumbers again next year. Squash is still alive. We're getting a new baby squash, yay, because we were really surprised. What has been happening is almost all of the flowers for our squash plants are male. So for anyone that doesn't know, that's following along, the fruit or the vegetables come from the female flowers. So that's really exciting to us. We're getting another one. We just, oh, there's a bee doing its bee job. See it in there? Good job, little bee. Good job. And what we need is to fertilize. So we have been really heavily fertilizing the pumpkins. We need to really start aggressively fertilizing the squash. Our first eggplant, and there's more coming. There's lots of flowers on the eggplant, and we have 3 eggplants. This is a nice big zucchini. Woo! Another big zucchini here. Now these ones are from a different style. I have 2 different style of plants, so I'm going to try to do some seed saving. These are the ones that I don't know what the variety is. Broccoli is still coming. More broccoli. That one looks more haggard. But down in here, you can see there's broccoli coming. So I'm happy with these. We've grown broccoli before in the ground, and it wasn't a great harvest. So what I ended up doing, we had like a lot of really scraggly broccoli. I dehydrated it all, and then I ground it up into a fine powder, and I used it in soups and stews and recipes. Our beans are kind of a bit scraggly, but they're our beans, and they are coming along. We planted 2 little like windowsill planters of beans. I initially was thinking that they were going to wind up and go like all through the railings up there, but these are bush beans, so these don't do that. Later today, we are going to harvest this celery. We're just getting it out of here, and then we're just going to massively, aggressively start fertilizing the squash so that we can get this one to grow more than what it is right now. So we have now more information about the Brussels sprouts. See each one of these little, there. Those are each a Brussels sprout that's growing along the stem. Apparently we need to fertilize this as well. No problem, we've got lots of fertilizer. Natural and some stuff that we bought at the store. The ornamental garden is looking good. My dianthus are growing. Dianthus this dianthus that I purchased is a perennial. So you can buy dianthus that are an annual in summer planters. But these ones will be coming back next year, hopefully, if they survive the first winter. And my butterfly plants are starting to bloom again. They've already bloomed once. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. We try to attract as many natural bees, butterflies, pollinators, anything that we can to the garden. And my sedum isn't in bloom yet, but it soon will be. Definitely. This is the new rhubarb, the immature rhubarb, a year old. So this is looking good. You can see all of the leaves did die back and they wilted. We just cleaned them up from there. So we didn't actually pull them off the plant. When they were finally kind of decayed enough and wilted enough, we just removed them from the ground. And here is the asparagus. And this is what it is supposed to be doing. It's wonderful. Very, very happy. It feels good to be planting perennials like rhubarb, like asparagus, that will continue to come up and benefit us for years to come. This is the mature rhubarb. So you can see more is growing here. I even have another brand new baby leaf coming there. So this is really good, very, very positive. And this is in a totally different, separate part of the yard. So I'm sure some of you recognize this. This was a dandelion. We don't have many here on this property, but I used to make a natural fertilizer out of dandelions years and years. The handsome one always called it the witch's brew. So you pull up the dandelions, you pull roots, leaves, flowers, everything, and you just put it in a bucket with water and just stir it. And you leave this decompose for a couple weeks in the sun. So don't use any good Tupperware containers. I've made that mistake. It gets really stinky and it smells just like manure. So once it's fully decomposed and smelling like the manure, then you use this and you dilute it. So 1 part of the dandelion mixture with 3 parts of water. No, 1 to 4, 4 parts of water, 1 to 4. And then you use this, and it's a very, very excellent natural fertilizer. And I used it all of the time at the old house. I just haven't had the capacity to get many dandelions this year. Actually, one year at work, I just picked dandelions one time before like the company that comes to mow the lawn came, and I made all kinds of fertilizer with them when I was out of dandelions at the house. Thanks to everyone who has been following along on our journey and offering advice. We are actually following a lot of the advice that we get from subscribers that have a little more experience in this area than us. So I just wanted to say, thank you so much. And any other advice that you have, we are definitely interested in hearing it.